Hello, and welcome to the workshop on digital literacy and 21st century skills. In this workshop, we will talk about digital literacy, locating and using information found through electronic sources, using technology to impact the world around you, and digital literacy specific to schools. We will also talk about 21st century skills such as problem solving, thinking creatively, working with others, communicating your thoughts clearly, and adapting to change. For digital literacy, one important tool with digital literacy is the ability to locate and use information found through an electronic source. When teachers borrow information from an electronic source, they must make sure the information is relevant to the topic, use the proper search engine and correctly, and evaluate the quality of the information. This is also known as information literacy. Teachers also must be able to use technology to impact the world around you. There are many electronic resources a teacher can use in his or her classroom, such as online calculators, videos, interactive grammar websites, interactive and educational physics games, and many more. When a teacher uses these resources, he or she is using technology to better his or her classroom. And we'll talk about that later in the presentation. Digital literacy in schools takes many forms. The first would be using the right media in the classroom. Some media are not appropriate for classroom use. Personal social networking and using websites for enjoyment with no educational value are two examples of this. This seems like common sense, but in some cases it's not. The second form that digital literacy takes in schools is using technology to engage the class. The interactive online games we talked about from the last slide engage the class in the material. They keep the students involved in the class, and they're more likely to remember something interactive. When they're actually doing something, they are always more likely to remember it. And the third form that digital literacy can take is encouraging students to use technology and to learn new skills. There's a vast span of technology available to use, and many sites offer training in a certain skill. So as a teacher, why not use those to help better our classroom? Now we'll move on to 21st century skills. The first would be problem solving. 21st century scholars will have to know how to solve problems. That's just a simple fact. It's part of our modern world, and we're faced with these kinds of problems every day. Without problem solving skills, it is actually impossible to make decisions. Each decision that is made nowadays directly stems from a problem. The second 21st century skill we'll talk about today is thinking creatively. The world is less cut and dry now, so many problems that you are faced with require a creative solution. The same monotonous routine every day in a classroom will leave students bored. When this is the case, they'll pay less attention and they'll learn less. This also goes with our interactive games and keeping students engaged. Now, working with others, teachers are not expected to know everything. Okay, that should be good. You should like that. When you don't know the answer to a question or problem, it is okay to ask for help, because in the 21st century, you are not going to know every piece of information that is out there. But you know what? Someone else will know what you don't know. So that's why collaboration is key. Another 21st century skill is communicating your thoughts clearly. If you don't communicate very clearly, it's hard for the recipient of the instructions to know exactly what to do. There are many ways to do a certain task, so if you want it done the way that you would like, you need to communicate your thoughts clearly. A lot of teachers run into problems with this when they don't communicate exactly what they want and expect the students to know. It's a rare skill to be able to say exactly what you want, and that makes it an important 21st century skill. Also, adapting to change. We know that our world is changing every day, so we know that we have to adapt to it. New technology is going to allow for an easier lifestyle. Think back, before all these new technologies, think about the life. And we have adapted so that we recognize all these technologies as good. We need to be able to keep up with all the new technologies because there are going to be more each and every day. Someone who's stuck in the past will be easily swept away by new information. There's so much new information each and every day. In conclusion, digital literacy and 21st century skills are very important for a modern day teacher. It's important to stay on top of new information to be a great teacher. may get out of your routine and switch up your classrooms, learn a new technology skill, and integrate at least one piece of new technology into your next lesson plans.